Some people ask me why I've chosen Costa Rica and not some other country. To be honest, I have no idea. For the last 20 or so years, I wanted to move away from the civilized world in general and from big cities in particular. But something was always getting in my way, be it a business, a university, a bankruptcy, marriage, or some other disaster. Several years before finally leaving the system, Costa Rica suddenly popped up in my head. I knew nothing about this country. I even thought it was an island, probably confused it with Puerto Rico. And I didn't even want to look it up. I simply knew it was my next destination. The lockdown 19 posed the threat of shutting down the borders. The idea of getting stuck forever in a cold country was the last drop. I put my simple belongings, mostly books, into my car and hit the road. For a former truck driver, 5,000 miles is nothing. 1 week on the road, without schedule, without logbook, without wait stations, is a breeze. It was quite interesting. If I took notes along the way, it could have become a bestseller. But I prefer to savor the moment rather than recording it. I will do a video about one of my next trips here from the States. Stay tuned. In more than half a century, I lived in half a dozen countries and traveled to many more. But here, in Costa Rica, people are the nicest of all I saw so far. We all want what we value the most. Upon meeting Santa Claus, a genie, or some other wish fulfiller, people usually ask for what they already have, but more of it, bigger and better. Most tourists and expats come south in search of habitual, comfortable life. As comfortable as it was back home, but without all these problems they've managed to create collectively back there. Naturally, most expats in Costa Rica prefer to live here in a large house, near all amenities, with all services, preferably close to the beach. My criteria are opposite. I'm after a quiet life in a clean, secluded place. The amenities are very low on my list of priorities. For me, the absence of a shopping center nearby significantly raises the value of the place. Coincidentally, it also significantly lowers its cost. I value natural things, such as sincere human relationships. Living in many countries, I saw many people, but I decided to stay here in Costa Rica in large part because of its people. They're genuinely nice here. Yes, taking advantage of tourists is a tradition in many countries, but here in Costa Rica, overcharging and screwing up tourists is limited to where they graze, tourist destinations, beaches, restaurants, hotels, parks, and so on. As soon as you get out of the beaten tourist path, you find yourself in a simple, natural environment, where most people are nice and sincerely friendly to everybody, including tourists. Most ticos, native Costa Rican, are open and curious. They love talking to strangers and will gladly help you, not even thinking about taking advantage of you. Yes, on any beach such as Coco or Manuel Antonio, a tourist will get ripped off extra money without extra remorses. There, any chair, any umbrella has its own pimp. Taking a shower or going to the bathroom will cost you. But this is a game a tourist agreed to play when deciding to take a vacation not in Japan, Switzerland or Monaco, but somewhere more affordable. It's perfectly normal. A tourist beach here is a place of business activity for the locals. They see you as their source of income there. But outside of the beach, in their village, in a daily life, they don't see you as a prey anymore. One example. One day I had to stop in a garage in the middle of nowhere to fix my car. A mechanic had to weld some piece, but he didn't have a welding machine, so he took off to another garage with a piece of my car. Before leaving, he asked me for 5,000 colones for the welder, for the job. I stayed with my car. When he came back, he gave me the change, 2,000 colones. I would never have known how much the real cost of welding was. The difference, 2,000 colones, is almost an hourly rate here. But the mechanic didn't even thought about keeping this money, even though he saw me for the first and for the last time. Again, it might be strange coming from a professional sociopath, but I'm just trying to be objective. I haven't seen such a nice people, such a warm welcome and attitude in other countries. I'm sure there are, because I haven't been everywhere, but here it is so, and I love it. Before ending this short post, I want to introduce you to the most popular expression in Costa Rica, pura vida. You will hear it 100 times a day, from everybody, on every occasion. Depending on the context, this expression can have different meanings. The most precise equivalent I found is Hakuna Matata. It means exactly this. Cool, don't worry, take it easy. Pura vida is used as and instead of many standard greetings. Hello, good morning, goodbye, how are you, see you later, and so on. Whenever you pass by anyone, whether acquaintance or not, and don't feel like talking, you can just say pura vida. It encompasses everything generic you could have said, but don't feel like talking. Use it and love your life. Pura vida!